everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, the show you are probably watching because even though Arcane is done, there is a lot more things to talk about and God knows I don't need sleep. It's been a while since we have done an episode of Rift News and that's because the Arcane Super Weekend quickly turned into the Arcane Life Consumer. But now, even though Arcane is over and I have about 6 more videos to pump out this week, let's talk about all the new things that were revealed because there is a lot. So without further ado, let's continue on the sleepless track and let's have a look at it. Normally we would start talking about what is happening in League and then we would have a look at the other things, but this time we'll do it the other way around for very obvious reasons. Yes, Riot are insane, but before we get to that, I quickly want to show you something. For the majority of my career, I've been recording videos from my very squeaky chair, and so, to fix it, for the finale of Arcane, Secret Labs showed me their new chair. There is no contract that would tell me to do this, I simply wanted to do this because the product is really good. I have always used very cheap office chairs which squeak a lot and ruin my audio, so to now finally have something like this feels really amazing. The build quality is absolutely amazing and it has fish bones on the back, so yeah, every now and then when I stream you will probably see this chair in the background and you can buy yours wherever it is available. This is a really good chair, thank you Secret Lab, but now on to the news. While we will not talk about any Arcane spoilers today, we still have to talk about what happened. Since Arcane's Act 3 ended with such a massive cliffhanger, it was obvious that one of two things had to happen. Either there will be a secret episode 10, or season 2 is already in works. And you see, since 2019 we actually knew that Arcane would be a multi-season project, so the cliffhangers make sense. But there is more behind this. Normally when a series is good, everyone gets nervous, because season 2 has to be as good as the original to carry on its legacy. The thing with season 2 of Arcane is that Season 2 was developed together with Season 1, and you know, maybe the other seasons after that as well. So Season 2 isn't really a sequel to Season 1, it is just a continuation, it extends the story that was already being made. So the chances of Season 2 being as good as Season 1 are actually really high. And yes, right after Arcane ended, we got the announcement that yes, Season 2 is now in works. We theoretically knew that before, but now it is official. With that said, there is something cool to talk about. You see, in the original reveal trailer, there were 3 shots which didn't appear in the series. This means one of two things. Either these pictures are gonna be in Season 2, even though in our first detail video you may have noticed that I did mention that character there, so that character does appear in the background, but still, these shots did not happen during Arcane. The other possible explanation behind these comes from the interview with Fortige. They revealed that there was a character which they had to cut out because they didn't really fit the story. So it is possible that whoever this person was supposed to be an essential character for Arcane, but they were not deemed so essential at the end. So more than this being a teaser for Season 2, it is possible that this was just a side character. Anyway, this takes us to the Undercity Nights event. If you didn't know, during the finale of Arcane, Riot held their own event called Undercity Nights. It was an event that was happening in a physical location where they basically rebuilt Zaun. They made the streets together with the last drop. It was amazing to see all the details around, and you could even talk to the characters and roleplay. Now here's the thing, I was supposed to go as well. However, at the last minute, almost literally, I caught a cold and I did a test and it came back positive. So yeah, I didn't go. But if I did, I would have picked up garbage because even the pizza tray was a newspaper from Piltover. Anyway, now that Arcane is over, we can easily say that Arcane was a massive success. It is currently ranked as number 14 in the best shows in the world. The success is undeniable. And it is reflecting on this very channel, because ever since Arcane's release, we have seen the biggest boom we have ever seen. During the premiere of Arcane, when we streamed it, we had 18,000 people watching us. Previously, my record was 1,000 people. I have never seen anything like this. And to know that it is gonna continue, with a really high chance of that being great as well, we'll be back. Anyway, of course, the Arcane hype was big, but that was not the only thing that was happening this month. You see, Riot really doesn't want to give us any sleep, and so they also decided to, you know, release the Ruined King, the first game from Riot Forge that everyone was looking forward to. So yes, while working on Arcane, we also streamed the entire game. And let me tell you, I expected an 8-hour game. I ended up streaming for 40 hours. Every single minute of my Ruined King playthrough is up on Twitch. Now granted, I did play on Veteran difficulty, which was the second hardest one, but still, that was a really long game. And the final fight was absolutely amazing. Now, I am planning on making a review of the game on this channel, so don't worry, we will talk about it more in the future, but let me just tell you that this game is a true love letter to the lore community. I don't think it makes the Sentinels of Light event that much better, you know, you can't really fix bad jokes, but the lead up to that event is now amazing. So many holes in that event were now fixed with this game. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil some of the amazing things that happen there. But if you walk around the game and you read the letters which you find everywhere, there are so many awesome details there. There is Swain spying on Elise when she's traveling to the Shadow Isles. There are newspapers from Noxus talking about how they captured Riven. You have letters from Ledros to Callista. And you can learn Thresh's real name. Not to mention that you can read about young Yorick being accepted by the monks. The lore details are simply amazing. And if you like the League of Legends universe, you will really like this game. For me personally, it is 8 out of 10, there is so much value here. But just know that if you are not a fan of turn-based combat, you may not like this game as much. Although there is always the option to play on the story difficulty, which makes everything simple. Now, lastly, I should mention that yes, I was turned into a character in this game. But let me just tell you that back in 2019, I was messaged by Riot and they simply told me, hey, we're working on something, is it fine if we use your name? To which I of course said, yeah, sure. I honestly thought that they would turn me into an Easter egg, like you walk into a bar and maybe there is a hat with my horns on it. I didn't know they would turn me into an essential character for the story. This is truly amazing, but just know that when I'm talking about this game, no, that does not affect my opinion. You know my opinion on the event, we talked about it for 40 minutes, so just know that when we talk about the Ruined King, we'll be honest. We should also very quickly mention that there is also the Ruined King Collector's Edition. You can find it on Riot's merch store and the value from that is actually really high. There are the usual things like a map, a coin, an art book, but you also get a mug, and you also get a diary, but you also get a pen with it. For some reason you usually just get a diary and you have nothing to write with in there. Yeah, the Ruined King actually thought about that. So yeah, if you don't know where to look for it, it is actually on the merch store. Now of course, even though the Ruined King game gave me material for about 3 more videos on top of all the Arcane videos, they also decided to release the Hextech Mayhem game. So we will be reviewing that as well. That game may have a really niche audience, because it is a music-based game. For someone who's into music and who grew up with Guitar Hero, I have to say, I really like it. The gameplay is very unique because yes, you can just follow what the game tells you and you can just follow the rhythm, or you can make up your own rhythm and you can have even better time with the game. That's really the core feature which you learn about as you go through the game. You can add in additional inputs to how you play through the level, which gives you better score and which actually makes the song better. It is really hard to describe how this works, but it is more than just a rhythm game. It is almost kind of a puzzle game as well, as you try to figure out which inputs would make the song better at which times. Once again, this game definitely has a niche audience, but I really had some good time with it. Now, of course, during the Riot Forge presentation, we learned about a lot more than just the Ruined King and Hextech Mayhem. They also revealed the Song of Nunu. This is an adventure game in Freljord made by a studio that is known for their story-based adventure games. Seeing how the Riot Forge games turned out so far, I am really looking forward to this. When you think about the Song of Nunu, think about games like The Last Guardian. And, of course, then we also got some Convergence gameplay. That game is obviously themed around speed brawlers made by the same studio. And for someone like me, who simply likes platformers, this is gonna be amazing. We didn't learn too much about it, but it is shaping up really well. And then, finally, of course, to give us even more, we got new info on Project L. This is truly what everyone's been waiting for. And I'm glad to see that it is shaping up really well too. If you compare the new footage to the last one, you may see that they completely redid the visuals. They went from the traditional 3D fighting into a more of a comic-styled fighting. It's not cel-shaded, but it still retains the really awesome comic-like visuals. Now, right now, we may be looking at a late 2023 release. It is definitely not gonna come out in 2022. And the reason why it almost looks finished in the demo is because this was a vertical slice. It's when a studio makes a game look almost complete, even though they really just have a tiny slice of it. That's why it is called a vertical slice. So yes, that was mostly a presentation of what the game will look like. It was not a presentation of a complete product. That's why we are waiting for 2023. So far we know that it is going to be an assist-styled fighting, which means that you will be playing as two characters who are swapping places, which means that you can actually make your own team. But also we know that the mechanical inputs will not be difficult, so it is going to be new player friendly, and that is a very good thing. It's gonna be easy to learn, hard to master. And these are the best kinds of games. League, on the other hand, is actually hard to pick up and hard to master. That's why it is very hard to get new players for League. Project L is going the exact opposite direction, and that's why this really seems to be a really good long-term project. We should get 2 updates on the game per year, so see you in half a year. Regardless, it still looks very good. And then we got a trailer for Hytale. Because in case you forgot, the studio was actually acquired by Riot Games. Now, when it comes to Hytale, I am not that hyped because I never really got onto the Minecraft hype train. So maybe if I go back and play Minecraft a lot, maybe I'll be hyped for that as well. But the good thing about Hytale is that they are giving really good modding tools to the community. This means that people will be essentially able to make their own game within Hytale. Just like you can make your own adventures inside Minecraft. And here's the thing, if you go back to the Riot Forge presentation, you may notice that at the very end, we got 2 more game teasers. There was one in Shurima, which we honestly have no idea what that is, but there was also one in Demacia, and that one showed a lot of 3D pixels. Just like what you would see in Hytale. So I wonder if Hytale will come with a Demacian adventure already bundled in to really show people how much you can mod the game. I wonder if that's what that was, because we truly don't know what the Demacian game is gonna be, and the only thing that is close to that is Hytale. It is just my theory, but that might be what's happening. And then at the very end of the Undercity Nights event, we got a video called Infinite Canvas. In there, writers were talking about how they approach game development. It is some really cool quick insight on how they make things. But the most important part is that they talked about the Ruination. They talked about how in League, the Sentinels of Light event didn't really land well. How it didn't really feel like an epic adventure worthy of the Ruined King. Which, you know, all of that is absolutely true. But it is finally awesome to see a reply from Riot. They know it didn't land well, but that's fine. They take a lot of risks, and because of those risks, they are able to make good games. So yes, we all know it really wasn't good, but Riot knows too. And so maybe they will learn. But now, since we are done with all the big reveals, let's go back to the games and let's see what's happening there. In Valorant, you can still enjoy your free things from the Arcane Pass. In Wild Rift, you can still log in for your daily rewards until the 28th. Legends of Runeterra is enjoying its really amazing PvE game mode, but then, when it comes to the Arcane visual novel, it will be ending in a couple of hours from now. And that visual novel has a lot of interesting rewards, so you better get on it. One of those rewards was a Zonite TFT board, however, there was a bug, and so right now if you log into TFT, you will not have the board. You will get an egg as a compensation, but the board is coming later, so just don't freak out. And finally, in League, we have not done the news for so long, we have a lot of skins to talk about. We didn't even have a chance to talk about the cute cafe skins, so let's have a look at those. First of all, there is Annie, who is kind of generic, it's like all the other skins, however, when she summons the bear, then the skin gets unique, because she now has a gummy bear. There is also Bard, and it's a really good skin. It is well deserved, and most importantly, he is making latte art. It is not surprising to see that Gwen got a skin as well, she is quite popular, however, this really doesn't look like it's from a coffee shop. There is nothing coffee-like about that. And then we got another food-related skin for Sivir. She is throwing away her serving plate. And after her we got a Soraka skin to serve all your mate fantasies. She got a spoon to show you where your allies are, and they are marked with a cake. And finally there is Vladimir, who is kinda normal, but he was turned into tea. Literally if you press W. Of course, with that there will be a lot of cute cafe icons and emotes, and let me tell you, these are very unique. I wouldn't be surprised if these were actually really popular. And that takes us to Debonair 2.0, which is connected to the Crime City skins. So if the Debonair 2.0 looks more Crime City than Crime City, that's why. It is not exactly my style of skins, however, the spell effects heavily carry this skin line. They are amazing. My favorite is Draven, who looks like Elvis. Then there is LeBlanc, who looks kinda normal, but yeah, it is a different style from every other skin that she has, so good on that. Her purple spells also reflect on the Crime City skin line. Then there is Malzahar, who stayed perfectly loyal to the original concept art, and I have to say, I really like the spitting cobras. And then there is Yi, who is just a perfect Yakuza-styled character. The skin may look kinda bland, but there will definitely be people who will love it. And then there is Brand, who, once again, is human. He has an iron mask, but hey, the fires are really cool. And of course, there had to be a prestige skin, so he got the prestige skin, and guess what it is? Say it with me, champagne pink! Yeah, it's cool. And then at the very end, Zed got a new legendary skin. Again. To be honest, it is really cool, the animations are great, and the fact that he summons purple clones in reference to Crime City is really clever. But yeah, the animations totally carry this skin, and yeah, he got his own red carpet. I still like the Odyssey one a bit more. And yes, all of this comes with its own icons, chroma skins and emotes. It's just like every other PBE. However, this time around, PBE is gonna get something new. We are gonna get challenges. If you forgot, these are achievements. So if you are a pleb who doesn't like ranked like me, we will finally be able to show the world that we are casuals. There are more and more people like us every day, so don't be afraid of it. Although I did my 10 games for Blitzcrank this year, I am not doing more.